Okay. We're looking at the solution that the Most High given us to get his attention. In Joel 2:12, he said, therefore, also now, said the Most High, turn you even to me with all your heart, with all your mind. The heart is the mind, the way you think. And with fasting, and with weeping, and with mourning, and rend your heart, rend your mind, and not your garments. Not because we should tear our garments in humility to the Most High. He said, no, I want the way you think to be right. And turn unto the Most High your power. For he is gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and of great kindness, and repent of him of the evil. He repent of him, he's sorry for the things that he's going to do to us that's evil. Behind us being evil, drawing evil to us. That's the only time you're going to get it. Who knows if he will return and repent and leave a blessing behind him? Who knows if the Most High going to leave a blessing behind? Even a meat offering and a drink offering unto the Most High your power. See? So we have to look at how, this army that he said he's bringing forth, these men of war, as it says in verse 7, they shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war. That exceeding great army that he said he's making and bringing forth in Ezekiel 37:10. And they shall march every one on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. See? Look at verse 11. And the Most High, while Mashiach shall utter his voice before his army. But his camp is very great, like we read in Ezekiel 37:10. His camp is very great, for he is strong to execute his word. But the day of the Most High is great and very terrible, and who can abide it? You ready for this? Hope you got your mind prepared for it, because it's coming. And it's a shame because the preachers are not teaching prophecies. They're not getting the people ready for what's getting ready to go down. I mean, you can just go over this and look. You'll see the story is being told. Look at this exceeding great army. Look at Jeremiah 51:20. Jeremiah 51:20. He said, thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. For with thee, with this exceeding great army, will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms, and with thee will I break in pieces the horse and his rider, and with thee will I break in pieces the chariot and his rider, and with thee also will I break in pieces man and woman, and with thee will I break in pieces old and young, and with thee will I break in pieces the young man and the maid. I will also break in pieces with thee the shepherd, the preachers, and his flock, and those that's following them. That's why I say you better come out of that. You hear what he said? And with thee, I also will break in pieces with thee the shepherd and his flock. And with thee will I break in pieces the husbandman and his yoke of iron, oxen, the farmers. And with thee will I break in pieces captains and rulers. And I will render unto Babylon, America, and to all the inhabitants of Chaldea, all their evil that they have done in Zion, all the evil that they have done to the 12 tribes of Israel, in your sight, saith the Most High. What did he say? Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, destroy the whole lands across the world, said the Most High. He called you the waster that's going to be destroyed. Which destroyeth all the earth. See that? Which destroyeth all the earth. And I will stretch out mine hand upon thee and roll thee down from the rocks. They're going to hide in the mountains. I'm going to roll you down from the rocks. And will make thee a burnt mountain. Look. Go to Ezekiel 25. Ezekiel 25. And verse 12. Thus said the Most High Power, because that Edom have dealt against the house of Judah, you so-called African Americans that you call yourself, Judah, house of Judah, family of Judah, by taking vengeance, and have greatly offended. Hear that? They took vengeance and greatly offended, and revenged himself upon them. Verse 14. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they shall do in Edom. How? According to mine anger, and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, said the Most High. So you're going to do them in. According to his fury. Could that be like an earthquake? Like tidal wave? Like a tornado? Like a hurricane? He said, and I will lay my vengeance upon Edom, verse 14, by the hand of my people Israel. And they shall do in Edom, according to mine anger, and according to my fury. And they shall know my vengeance, said the Most High. So you're going to know his vengeance. Micah 4 and 10. Micah 4 and 10. Be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in travail, like a woman having contractions, having a baby. For now shalt thou go forth out of the city, and thou shalt dwell in the field, and thou shalt go even to Babylon. Here we are, right here in America. There shall thou be delivered. That sound good? Y'all trying to run somewhere? He said we're going to go to America and we're going to be delivered. We're going to be delivered. Salakia. Don't that give you hope? It says, be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, daughter of Zion, who we are as the 12 tribes of Israel, like a woman in travail, like a woman having contractions when she's having a baby. So a woman that's had a baby, they know how this pain is. That's how it's saying. For now shalt thou go forth out of the city, and thou shalt dwell in the field, and thou shalt go even to Babylon. There shalt thou be delivered. There the Most High shall redeem thee from the hand of thine enemies. Okay? That's why it's telling us in, go to Hosea, 1st chapter, the 10th verse. This is what you're receiving now during this period of time. Hosea 1 and 10. It says, yet the number of the children of Israel who we are, the people of this book, the children of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel, shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass, the future, that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people. What are we taught? We're Gentiles. Our family members say they still Gentiles. Now, I ain't no Jew. The Jews killed the Mashakers. They regurgitating the things that they've heard. You know, he came into his own received him not. They don't read, that's St. John 1 and 11. They don't read verse 12 when it says, but as many as received him, gave he power, that spiritual power, to become the sons of the Most High, even to them believe on Yahweh B'Shem Mashiach Yahushua. Understand, overstand this. Because that's how we reach the Most High. That's how you're going to give us the Spirit. How you give us the Spirit and you don't even know how to reach him? That's another topic. But it says, yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea. Have you ever picked up any sand in the sea? That's a lot of people, which cannot be measured nor numbered. You can't censor us. Which cannot be measured or numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, ye are Gentiles. You've been grafted in. None of you know who you've been grafted in among. You ain't never asked, well, who am I grafted in among? You know? You are not my people. Because you see everybody, you see the movies, the magazines, the Bibles, everybody's Edomites, so-called white people. 10 Commandments, you look at that, you got so-called Edomites, or so-called white people that are Edomites, playing every part, right? So in your mind, you could generally you can think, hey, y'all have nothing to do with us. And you see pastors saying, see, man, Moses married an Ethiopian woman. See, that's a black woman. When Moses was black himself. That's what Moses said, put your hand in your bosom. He said, ain't gonna listen to me. He said, put your hand in the bosom. He put his hand in the bosom, he pulled it out. It would look just like both sides of his hand. His palm of his hand, other side looked just like, that's what they call vitiligo today, right? Like what they say Michael Jackson had, where your flesh deteriorates from your body. That's leprosy. You read about that in Leviticus 13th chapter in the law. So he said, put forth that hand in that bosom. He pulled his hand out, and his hand turned like this. This side looked like that. This side, this how that side looked, like this side, right? Let me get it right. So he put it back in his bosom and pulled it out, and it turned like his other flesh. So he could have been a so-called white man. What kind of sign is that? That's no sign. That don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing to him, you know? For him to be white and then turn white, well, that's no sign. That's and Miriam, she talking about the Most High dealing with her. Her and Aaron talking stuff about the Most High dealing with her, like he dealing with Moses. The Most High heard it, came down to turn her white. Made her leprous. Look at Exodus 4 and 6. I don't like to give stories and I can't pull it from the scripture. So look at Exodus 4 and 6. And the Most High said furthermore unto him, put now thine hand into thy bosom. And he put his hand into his bosom. And when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow. His hand turned white. Right? They like to call themselves white. And he said, put thine hand into thy bosom again. So he put his hand in the bosom. He pulled it out. It was turned white. Both sides, like I said, it was just like the palm of his head. And he said, put thine hand in thy bosom again. So he put his hand in the bosom again. And he put his hand into his bosom again and plucked it out of his bosom. Plucked it out of his bosom. And behold, it was turned again as his other flesh, like his other flesh. So, there it is. So can you imagine? You go in front of the musicians and all, Pharaoh and all his musicians and so forth, and Moses put his hand in his bosom and pull it out and it turned white. Then he put his hand back in his bosom and it turned back to his other flesh. The way their eyes would look, they couldn't do nothing like that. Look at, let me see where I want to go now. Psalms 94 and 16. Psalm 94 and 16. You say, who will rise up for me, this is for the Most High, against the evildoers? Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity? Hold up, I didn't finish Hosea. Salakia, let me go back there. Because I got it, that's going to precept somewhere. I want to go back to Hosea 1 and 10. Salakia. So I want to make sure I bring that out. Hosea 1 and 10. It says, yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living power. See, we're taught that we're Gentiles. Like I say, grafted in and so forth. Here we're going to be taught that we the sons of the living power. That's why Exodus 4:22. Exodus 4:22. And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, Most High telling Moses, tell Pharaoh, thus said the Most High, Israel is my son, even my firstborn. You see, we the sons of the Most High. Even the Most High's firstborn. So yeah. And we became the sons of the Most High under our forefather Enos, who was Seth's son. Adam and Eve's son Seth had Enos. And that's when men began to call on the Most High by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua in the name of the Lord and Savior. So, I know it's a lot, but I hope that you are grasping this. If not, just play it over. Just play it over and study it. Psalm 94 and 16 now. Who will rise up for me, this for the Most High, against the evildoers? Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity? He asking the question. Who gonna stand up for the Most High against the evildoers? And who gonna stand up for the Most High against the workers of iniquity? The answer is in, one of them is Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, and the 1st verse. Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 1. Then shall the righteous man, those that keeping the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, that's make you righteous. Deuteronomy 6:25. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. Free labor and slavery. He received nothing. The Japanese got what, 25,000 of family and all that. The Jewish people getting monies every year from America for Hitler doing what they did, what he did to them. What we get? Then shall a righteous man stand in great boldness in the face of such as afflicted him and made no account of his labor. That's the man that's going to stand against the evildoers and the workers of iniquity. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all they look for. It's going to be beyond all they look for. What they going to say? And they repenting? Let me show you. Because when, like I showed you, when we go up in the chariots, Most High will, if we are, worthy to go up in the chariots. He told us in Revelation 11th chapter, and verse 13, it says, let's go to verse 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither, And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud. We already defined that cloud as the chariot of the Most High in Psalms 104 and 3. And the angels of the Most High, Psalms 68 and 17, I believe. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, in the chariot of the Most High, what they call a UFO. We call them IFOs. And their enemies beheld them. See, they're going to behold us. This was salvation is coming to the Israelites. Like we just read in Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 2. They're going to be amazed at the strangers of his salvation, right? And his enemies beheld them. See? And so when they see us going up in the chariots, what they going to say? Let's see what they're going to say. Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 2. In the Apocrypha, when they see it, when they see a righteous man standing in great boldness in the face of such a afflicted him and made no account of his labors, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear. This is the part we're looking at. And shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all they look for. They ain't looking for this. This is what they're going to say. And they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he? No, not him. Whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach. Not him. We made sure we disgraced them for the whole world to see. Killing each other, calling them all kind of names. That's what he gonna say. We fools accounted his name, his life madness, and his end to be without honor. How is he numbered among the children of the Most High? And his lot is among the saints. They screaming. Exclamation point. Therefore have we erred from the way of truth. The truth is, let's sing it together. Psalms 119, 142. Y'all should know it by heart now. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. Okay? So they're saying, how is he numbered? How is he numbered among the children of the Most High? And his lot is among the saints. Therefore have we erred from the way of truth. And the light of righteousness, which we know is keeping of the Most High's laws, statutes, commandments, have not shined unto us. And the sun of righteousness rose not upon us. So listen what they're going to say. We wearied ourselves in a way of wickedness and destruction unto this day. You see it. Wickedness and destruction. Yeah, we have gone through deserts where there ain't no way. Mashiach Yahushua said, I am the way. But as for the way of the Most High, the Mashiach Yahushua, we have not known it. That's when salvation is coming. So are y'all wasting your time dealing with teaching this, that, and whatever, and not taking the time to teach Israel and everybody learn from what it is that we teaching the Most High's chosen people of 12 tribes of Israel? Then this what you maybe don't understand. You can't be understanding if you keep doing it. They saying, as for the way of the Most High, the Mashiach Yahushua, we have not known it. So all that time you spending, you wasting your time. And Israel still don't know the laws. Still don't know what's righteous in the eyes of the Most High. What works with the Most High. Understand, overstand this, people. Because look, go to Luke, the first chapter, 68th verse. This salvation, Luke 1:68. Blessed be the Most High power of Israel. I could say the Most High power of every nation, since y'all say the power of you, and you another nation outside of the Israelites. He say the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And Jacob is the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. That's why it's saying, blessed be the Most High power of Israel, the Israelites. For he have visited and redeemed his people. Here's a personal pronoun showing ownership. I mean, come on. Personal possessive pronoun showing ownership. His people, who are the 12 tribes of Israel. Mashiach said in Matthew 15:24, but he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Matthew 1 and 22, 122, 21, Matthew 1:21. And she who is married shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Yahushua, for he shall save his people from their sins. Hebrews 7:14, for this evidence of fact that our power, Mashiach Yahushua, the same one you call Jesus Christ, sprang out of Judah, our forefather Jacob's fourth-born son. He walked every day to be a so-called Negro. So-called African-American. You can relate to that? Listen. Luke 1:68. Blessed be the Most High power of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people, and hath raised up an horn, which is a power like the power of the bull, the power of the ram, of salvation. Like we reading, they're going to be amazed at the strangers of our salvation. So far beyond all they look for. And hath raised up an horn, a power of salvation, for us, the children of Israel, in the house of his servant David, who he came from the tribe of Judah. Mashiach Yahushua, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began, that we should be saved from our enemies. Hear that? We as Israelites should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us. That's salvation. Saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us. So, go to Jeremiah 50. But understand this. It's going to be a remnant of all nations. You're going to learn this now. You can turn it off if you want to. Any of you. But you're going to either learn it now, or you're going to be made to learn it, or you're going to perish. Point blank. So take it lightly if you want to. We're looking at Jeremiah, the 50th chapter. And let's read from verse 8. Remove out of the midst of Babylon, America, and go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans, and be as the he-goats before the flocks. You know, I went over this already. I want to go over it again because it must be necessary. With that mindset, first and foremost, you know, like we read in Revelation 18:4, you got to come out of that mindset of how, you know, she is having everyone sin. And you think sin is righteousness. It's okay to do whatever they say you can do, which is off. It's off, y'all. This place is being destroyed right before your eyes and you can't even see it. Look. But the he-goats, they have a goat that befriend the sheep. And them sheep gonna follow the goat. And they have the goat lead the sheep into a slaughterhouse, and they have a little door. They train the goat to go to the right, and the sheep go to the goat go to the right, and the sheep go to the left. The goat go in, and the door shuts, so the sheep can't go nowhere but to the left. They be slaughtered one after another. Man, slaughtered one after another. That's how we are. Sheep led to the slaughter. That's why Mosai say we like that. Verse 9, for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country. Against America, from the north country. Like Russia's north, Germany's north, France north, all these different nations from the north country. And they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows, their missiles, shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. None of them going to return in vain. I mean, they're going to meet and hit their mark. And Chaldeans shall be a spoil. All that spoil her shall be satisfied, said the Most High, because you were glad, because you rejoiced. O you destroyers of mine heritage, O you destroyers of the 12 tribes of Israel, because ye have grown fat as a heifer, free labor, free slave labor at grass, and bellow as bulls. Your mother shall be so confounded confused. She shall bear you, she that bear you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness. I mean, July 4th, 1776. That's the hindermost of the nations. A dry land in the desert. We already read about it. Because of the wrath of the Most High, it shall not be inhabited. It has nothing to do with me or anyone else. It's because of the wrath of the Most High, it shall not be inhabited. It shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon or goeth by America shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. Hear that? And hiss at all her plagues. This is what it say. It say, put yourself in array against Babylon, against America. Round about, all ye that bend the bow, all ye that have missiles. Shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she have sinned against the Most High. Remember the Most High said he gonna remember their sin? Shout against her round about. She hath given her hand. Her foundation are fallen. Her wells are thrown down. Her walls are thrown down. But it is the vengeance of the Most High. Take vengeance upon her as she hath done. Do unto her. Woo. Man. That's prophecy, y'all. That's prophecy. Since we're in Jeremiah, go to Jeremiah 47, verse 2. Thus said the Most High, behold, waters rise out of the north, and shall be an overflowing flood, and shall overflow the land, and all that is therein, the city, and them that dwell therein. Then the men shall cry, and all the inhabitants of the land shall howl. Woo. What you gonna do there? He's not gonna flood the whole earth, but he says he's gonna flood a lot of places, man. From what it says here, waters rise up out of the north. Where we at? We in North America. And shall be an overflowing flood, and shall overflow the land, and all that is therein, the city, and them that dwell therein. Then the men shall cry, and all the inhabitants of the land shall howl. Be howling. Wisdom of Solomon 16 and 16. Wisdom of Solomon 16 and 16. For the unrighteous that denied to know thee were scorched by the strength of thine arm. With strange rains, hails, and showers were they persecuted, that they could not avoid, and through fire were they consumed. I mean, you got to understand, the Most High ain't no joke. But see, people want to look at him as being something that he's not. That's why a lot of y'all probably dislike the Most High hearing this lesson. Let's see what Esau said pertaining to, this is from the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. Look at, we're going to look at Edom. And the reason why I have to really expound on this, because 2nd Ezra 6 and 9 says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, right? So Edom, it says Edom, looking at the definition of Edom, one definition says Edom figures prominently in the prophetic scriptures as the scene of great future judgments. See notably Isaiah 34 and 5. So we're going to look at these scriptures that they give us. Isaiah 34 and 5. Because, you know, for our people, you know, so-called white men say something, oh, it got to be true, right? So this is what they give us. Isaiah 34, 5, and 6. So let's look at that. Isaiah 34 and 5. It says, For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment, right? So this is what they give us to look at. So it say, my sword shall be bathed in heaven. That's right here on this earth. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. So we got to look up Idumea. So look up Idumea in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. And Idumea, it says, pertaining to Edom, Greek and Roman name for Edom. See? Greek and Roman name for Edom. For the Edomites. Okay? To represent the so-called white man. So that's what it's talking about, because they are ruling in the last part of the kingdom on this earth. Right? So now, it says, for my sword, this is what they gave us to look at. It said, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. That's Edom, Rome. And upon the people of my curse. That curse is leprosy. But they clean lepers because they're white from the head to the toe. To judgment, right? See, the sword of the Most High is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat and the kidneys of rams, for the Most High hath a sacrifice in Bajra. That's the capital city of Esau, the Edomites of Edom. And a great slaughter in the land of Idumea, Edom, Rome. Right? So let's jump up to verse 1. Isaiah 34:1. So they gave us these scriptures to look at, right? It said, come near, O ye nations, to hear and hearken. Listen, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world, and all things that come forth of it. Let everything hear the word of the Most High is saying. For the indignation of the Most High is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter, right? So he delivered them to the slaughter. So now, look at 2nd Ezra in the Apocrypha. We went over this already. We're going to go over it again. 2nd Ezra 13th chapter. He said he had delivered him to the slaughter. You've heard it over and over again in many different passages of the Bible. Let's look at it. 2nd Ezra 13:8. And after this I beheld, this is my second coming to judge and make war. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him, all the armies and navies and marines and air forces of all the nations, going to be gathered together to subdue him, were so afraid. They're going to be afraid. And yet does fight. They're going to be afraid. It says, and yet does fight. Right? And lo. And I'm here because it said in Isaiah 34:2, for the indignation of the Most High is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. You see? He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter, right? This is what it says here. 2nd Ezra 13. See, all these Army, Navy, Marines, and Air Force going to be afraid, but they going to fight. He said, but yet there's does fight, right? Verse 9, 2nd Ezra 13. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand nor held sword, but nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest. and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of a innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. He's saying this. See? So that's what we're seeing in Isaiah 34:2. In verse 8. For it is the day of the Most High's vengeance and the year of recompense for the controversy of Zion, for the controversy of the children of Israel. Now going up to verse 3 of Isaiah the 34th chapter. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses. They're going to be buried, so they stink going to come out of their carcasses, dead bodies, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood. And all the hosts of heaven, as they gave, shall be dissolved. Hear that? All the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved. And the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. Like you see behind me, that scroll right there. That's like a mushroom cloud, nuclear mushroom cloud. And all their hosts shall fall down, as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig trees. Right? Go to let them know, man. Isaiah 13:13. Isaiah 13:13. Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place, in the wrath of the Most High power of hosts, power of armies and angels, and in the day of his fierce anger. See? This is what you can expect. Revelation 6:12. Revelation 6:12. Revelation 6:12. And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth. These certain celebrities, different people that's of importance, even as a fig tree casts her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And the heaven, listen to this closely, and the heaven departed as a scroll, like we just read. When it is rolled together, like the scroll that you see behind me, rolled together, and the heaven departed as a scroll. When it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their place. See? The heavens gonna be right here on the earth, gonna depart as a scroll when he purified this earth through the destruction that he's gonna bring upon this place in 1 hour. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. See? And the kings of the earth and the great men, that's some stars falling down to the earth, and the rich men and the chief captains and the mighty men and every bondman and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, right? They're going to hide themselves in the rocks of the mountains. And said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. Because Mashiach shall come to judge and make war under the power of the Most High. So they're going to be saying, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand, they saying. That's why they say, look, go to Jeremiah 16. 16. Like I say, he made everything. You think he don't know where they're going to be at? And they underground bunkers and so forth. Jeremiah 16:60. Behold, I will send for many fishers. We fishing right now, said the Most High, and they shall fish them. Those that have ears to hear, to be able to lock into this truth. And after, because after, we're not going to do this so long. And after, will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them. This is from every mountain. See, they're going to be hiding in the mountains. Going to say the mountains fall on us, right? So he's going to send for those hunters. They're going to hunt them from every mountain. They're going to say that, but it ain't going to happen. This is what it say. They're going to hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks. Hear that? But mine eyes are upon all their ways. They are not hid from my face, neither is their iniquity hid from mine eyes. But first I will recompense their iniquity and their sin double. There we go again. We receive double. He gonna recompense their iniquity and their sin double, because they have defiled my land. They have filled mine inheritance with the carcasses of their detestable and abominable things, kosherizing pigs and so forth. It's coming, y'all. Y'all better be ready. Look at Jeremiah 17:17. Jeremiah 17:17. Be not a terror to me. Guard my hope in the day of evil. Most high power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Let them be confounded that persecute me. But let not me be confounded. Don't let me be confused. Let them be dismayed. But let not me be dismayed. Bring upon them the day of evil and destroy them with double destruction. There it is again. It is written, thus say the Most High. Psalms 35. Let's quiet the Most High a little bit. Psalms 35. Plead my cause, O Most High, with them that strive with me. Fight against them that fight against me. Take hold of shield and buckler, and stand up for mine help. Draw also the spear, and stop the way against them that persecute me. Say unto my soul, my spirit, I am thy salvation. Let them be confounded and put to shame that seek after my soul. Let them be turned back and brought to confusion that devise my hurt. Let them be shaft. Let them be as shaft before the wind. And let the angel of the Most High chase them. Let their way be dark and slippery. And let the angel of the Most High persecute them. But without cause have they hid for me their net in a pit, which without cause they have digged for my soul. Let destruction come upon him at unawares, and let his net that he have hid catch himself. And to that very destruction let him fall. And my soul shall be joyful in you, Most High. It shall rejoice in his salvation. All my bones shall say, O Most High, who is like unto thee, which delivereth the poor from him that is too strong for him. Yeah, the poor and the needy from him that spoileth him. False witnesses did rise up. They laid to my charge things that I knew not. They rewarded me evil for good, to the spoiling of my spirit. But as for me, when they were sick, my clothing was sackcloth. I humbled my soul with fasting, and my prayer returned into mine own bosom. I behaved myself as though he had been my friend or brother. I bowed down heavily, as one that mourneth for his mother. But in mine adversity, they rejoiced and gathered themselves together. Yeah, the abjects gathered themselves together against me, and I knew it. Nah, I didn't know it. They did tear me and cease not with hypocritical mockers in feast. They gnashed upon me with their teeth. Most High, how long wilt thou look on? Rescue my spirit from their destructions, my darling from the loins. I will give thee thanks in the great congregation. I will praise thee among much people. Let not them that are mine enemies wrongfully rejoice over me, neither let them wink with the eye that hate me without a cause. For they speak not peace, but they devise deceitful matters against them that are quiet in the land. Yeah, they open their mouth wide against me and say, aha, aha, or I have seen it. This thou hast seen, O Most High. Keep not silent, O Most High. Be not far from me. Stir up thyself and awake to my judgment, even to my cause, my power, O my power. Judge me, O Most High, my power, according to thy righteousness, and let them not rejoice over me. Let them not say in their hearts, ah, so we have it. Let them not say, we have swallowed them up. Let them be ashamed and brought to confusion together that rejoice in mine hurt. Let them be clothed with shame and dishonor that magnify themselves against me. Let them shout for joy and be glad that favor my righteous cause. Yeah, let them say continually, let the Most High be magnified, which have pleasure in the prosperity of his servant. And my tongue shall speak of thy righteousness and of thy praise all the day long. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. To the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, forever and ever and ever. So I want to continue with what we left off with, this definition of Edom. It says, Edom. Edom figures prominently in the prophetic scriptures as the scene of great future judgments. See notably Isaiah 34 and 5 and 6. And it says Isaiah 61st chapter. So now, before we go to Isaiah 61st chapter, we got to go to Revelation 19. Go to Revelation 19. Like we said, how Mashiach is coming to judge and make war. To Revelation 19 and 11. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse. This is pure righteous power. And he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True. And in righteousness and the law, such commandments of the Most High, he does judge and make war. Right? His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns, powers, and authority. And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. Listen at this closely. Verse 13. And he was clothed with a vesture. His garment was dipped in blood. Keep this in mind. That's why we're going to go to the next thing they say about Edom. So his vesture is dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of the Most High, right?